Okay, girls, so today we're going to do our revision on the skill called canceling while multiplying and dividing fractions. This goes back to your number skills test. So I encourage you to take out your test because if you have been invited to this to watch these videos is because you had some types of mistakes with the questions that I'm going to be solving here. So all these questions are from short answer questions and at question G, H, and M. So take out your test, look at the feedback that I gave you, and let's look about how to solve this type of questions. So some of you and most of you, what happens is that when when you're multiplying fractions, you have to multiply numerators and then multiply denominators, but you are not used to do canceling, and canceling will make your operations much faster, easier, and will ensure that you make less mistakes. So what happens is that the way that most of you solve these equations is that you say, okay, I know that 8/15 times 9 over 28 is equal to 8 times 9 over 15 times 28. And look at this operation that I have to do. And after I have done that, then I have to start simplifying that fraction. So that's like taking a very long way while you're multiplying, and then you have to go back to find what is the division to get here. So the approach of canceling is, why don't we, if this is the starting point, why don't we cancel first and we get here shorter rather than going to the end and then coming back, okay? So let me explain here how it works. So I'm going to write it here, bigger, 8 over 15 times 9 over 28. So because I have this, I know that this is equal to 8 times 9. Give me 1 second. Or I just want to do this a little bit bigger. There we go. So 8 times 9 over 15 times 28. So because I'm multiplying here all these numbers, agree? I'm multiplying 8 times 9, and all of this is affected by 15 divided by 28. Then I can cancel those numbers on top with numbers on the bottom. I'm going to do it in a slightly different way just to show why I can do what I'm going to do. So I know that I can write 8 as its product of its prime numbers. For example, I can write 8 as 2 times 2 times 2. Agree with me? And I know that I can write 9 as 3 times 3. Why am I putting this multiplication sign in the middle of these 2's and these 3 times 3? Because I have it here. I'm multiplying those ones. Okay. What do I have in the bottom? My denominator. I have that 15 can be written as 3 times 5. And what about 28? I'm going to do it here so it's easier. So 28 divided by 2 is 14, divided by 2 is 7, divided by 7 is 1. So it's 2, sometimes in by 2 times 2 times 7. And this is my 28. Okay, and because it's multiplication, I can rearrange these numbers in whatever way I want. Agree? So look what I'm going to do here. Actually, I'm not going to rearrangement because it's not important, but what I can do is I have a 2 here, and I can cancel it with these 2 down here. And I have here a 2 on the top, and I can cancel it with this one here. And then I have a 3 at the top, and I can cancel it with this 3 at the bottom. And that's it, because I don't have, I have left a 2, this 2 is left, and this 3 is left. And on the bottom I have a 5 and a 7. So there's nothing else that I can continue to cancel up. Therefore I have on the top 2 times 3 over 5 times 7. And this is equal to 8 over 35. So that's my answer to my problem that I have here at the top. This is equal to 8 over 35. I'm not going to do the long operation, but if you don't believe me, use your calculator and do this multiplication in your calculator, and you will see that this is the answer. Now, I'm going to explain, because you don't have this, what I did here is like the explanation why canceling works, but you don't have to do this procedure every time. This is only the explanation of why does it work. So I'm going to do here at the bottom, I'm going to write it again. I'm going to just give me 1 second. Sorry, this is only to open it up more space in my notebook. Beautiful. So I'm going to write it here, 8 over 15. This is what you need to do when you're doing multiplying of fractions. You always have to cancel up. So 8 over 15 times 9 over 28. And then you write it like this, 8 times 9 over 15 times 28. And you start looking, okay, 8, I can divide 8, like if you were simplifying fractions, something like that. So you can say, okay, 8, I can divide it by 2, and I can divide 28 by 2 as well. So I'm going to divide it by 2, and this one becomes 4, and I'm going to divide this one by 2, and this one becomes 14. Okay, can I keep going? Yes. I'm going to divide this one again by 2, and this one becomes 2, and 14 divided by 2 is going to be 7. Good. So I cannot continue with those ones. This one is a 2, this one is a 7. Good. Now let's look at the 9 and the 15. So the 9 and the 15, I can divide 9 by 3 and 15 by 3, like if I was simplifying fractions. So 9 divided by 3 is 3, 15 divided by 3 is 5. Good. I have finished because I can't continue here. Then I look, this 2 and this 5, no, I can't do anything further. And this 3 and this 7, no, I can't do anything further. So what is left? 2 times 3, which is 6, over 5 times 7, which is 35. And if I look up, because I have a mistake here, 2 times 3 is 6, as long as I know. It's not 8, right, girls? This one is 6. So there you go, 6 over 35 and 6 over 35. I will continue doing more examples in the next video.